Welcome back to Parts and Pieces. And today on Parts and Pieces, we actually have an episode about parts and pieces. And you might say, who is this urban cowboy that we have here? But it is my Kitbash Recondo with Law's upper body and Major Bludd's legs. I call it pieces, literally parts and pieces of this on camera. I didn't even know I filmed it. And the other one is Major Bludd with the Stalker body. I caught parts and pieces of that I filmed over a month ago, and I forgot I filmed it. But I didn't film it from start to finish with either or. But what goes on in this episode is some great boiling pops, some great taking off the vest, putting it on other figures, legs switching out. So it's got some vital information in it, and it created two great figures with this Recondo, this cowboy Recondo, and the more camouflaged up Major Bludd. And I just pretty much caught it on camera, man, and went kind of step by step on a few things, taking out some arms, switching around some legs. But this is what this episode is about. It's literally parts and pieces. This is the true parts and pieces. How I even came up with the idea. Kind of was buzzing around in my head, but I don't think I officially got it yet. That's why I didn't film it from start to finish. But I still wanted to put it on camera, so I hope you guys enjoy. I'm not going to waste your time anymore. Let's go through the parts and pieces. Alright, so what I got going on right now is a situation where I want to convert my Major Bludd over into a custom squad that I'm building, which I've started with scrap iron. Which consists of Stalker, Retro Stalker's body. As you see here, I've already kind of started. I pulled the right arm off of the Stalker body because, of course, Major Bludd has this robotic arm on the right with the gauntlet up there. Not the gauntlet, but the shoulder pauldron up there as well. And I'm going to put his vest on. There's also, so everything's going to pretty much be used. You know, in a Savage Land, we straight Indians, or excuse me, indigenous people. We use everything off the buffalo. So we're going to use the vest and arm. That's going to go to the Stalker body. The legs is going to go to a Law and Order body, which is really Outback's body. And I'm using a head that I picked up from a Recondo Retro that I brought, and that figure actually got shout out to Punk with Toys. I actually finally put my my snow job on that body. So everything is being used and purposed here. There may be a few parts and pieces left over from all this mix matching, but guess what? They'll be used again somewhere in the future. Now, as you can see here, I got to do a little bit of RIT dyeing on the neck and arms there. And try to get, Recondo to match up a little bit better. But his head looks awesome on this body. And I think Major Bludd will have definitely a new spin for him as well, especially with the team that I'm building. I already did a scrap iron on that old Stalker body. But the first thing, this is for people who don't necessarily really know about boil and pop. I used to use a blow dryer. And when I say used to, I still do for certain things. But as far as when it comes to this reconstruction of figures, you definitely want to boil them because it is nothing like that hot water. So what I want to do now, I want to start off with dropping Major Bludd in the pot. Got to add a little bit more water too. It's almost like I'm cooking up in here. Got the ready-made cold water. All right, so put that there. That gave him a little bit more, and what I want to do is I want to warm up Major Bludd so his head and neck can come off, which he's there already. I can go ahead and get that. And being that I added that little bit of cold water, it's still good because that water was boiling hot, but you're not supposed to leave it in very long. Okay, so let's go ahead and attempt to get Major Bludd's arm out of the socket. All right, so we got Major Bludd's arm here. It's very warm. Pauldron just came right out. That just fixates in his shoulder. So that warm water just loosened that up and brought that right on out. I'm gonna need that piece as well. But what I'm trying to do here is basically pull this whole arm unit out of the socket. Which that part came off, which is cool, but I need this inner workings part as well. So this one's gonna be a little bit different. one, I also need to get this vest off. You know what? I'm gonna pull his other arm out because that's gonna be needed as well. All right, now you see how I got this whole arm unit here? I'm gonna have to put this in the warm water, hot water, just a little bit more. A little bit more, but I want this whole unit to come out. It's being a little stubborn, but you see here, it's starting to come. There we go. Now, when you do this, you're gonna see a prong up top. Oh, his is built a little bit different now. You got a prong in the middle and a prong at the bottom. The bottom one, which is the most stubborn one, you see I got most of it out of the socket. This bottom one's more like an anchor to hold this arm in. Yeah, I gotta put some more heat on that, but you guys can see here, I pretty much got it out. It's just the bottom one that's giving me trouble. You can actually see into the cavity of the chest. So I heated it up a little bit more. That's real time. You don't need a long time, but about 10 seconds. Try to get this anchor piece out because I don't want it to break off at all. And he's a more newer figure, so he's built a little different, but there we go. Still the same thing. Looks like it's gotten a little bit bigger from other times, but this is that bottom anchor. So that arm hooks in like that. When you see an arm moving up and down that way, that anchor is there. This is support that goes into the chest cavity, and this is like another notch, like placeholder nub here. So we got that off, but people are wondering how you get a vest off without cutting off. You're gonna have to boil and pop. You're gonna have to take the arms off. I've seen them work on all G.I. Joes. Some G.I. Joes a little bit different as far as how they make them, but we good to go. You see now I'm slipping off this beautiful vest that he got, and I don't have to cut it or do anything like that. We just simply did a boil and pop here. Chest cavity sitting there waiting for something else to be modded. And while we're at it, we're gonna go ahead and put this vest on the Stalker body and see if it fits. I'm gonna heat it up a little more. These things can tear if you heat up too long, because they'll get soft, they'll get too pliable. But as you can see here, his while we're waiting on that vest to warm up, this thing didn't fully come out with this, so I gotta try to pull that out. And I might try to pull off the old one from his old arm. Just plug that back in, and then I wouldn't have to do all of that. That's what I think I'm gonna do on this one. Let's drop this arm in here. And I'm gonna just reuse that actual Stalker thing and then just plug this arm in. I don't need the whole shoulder joint. We're gonna work it out like that. Like I said, once again, this is real time, so. We'll just try to get this piece off and plug that back in. Shouldn't be no problem. Yes, okay, so we're gonna freak it like that. We just gonna reuse that Stalker rubber piece so it can actually get that. And what we're gonna do, we just gonna plug this arm here in into that piece. Most of the time when you do this, the whole unit will come out with that rubber piece attached, but we're gonna do this one a little bit different here. In fact, before we take a little break, I'm gonna heat all of this up. No, I'm gonna heat this rubber piece up and keep the arm, you know, getting cold. And we'll do it like that. That way, because it's supposed, I believe it's supposed to plunger into this thing, yeah. All right. Get that out. It should be nice and hot, nice and warm. We're gonna take this, and I'm trying to get it past this little notch here. I believe that's how you lock it in. Up, it's upside down. Yep, that's it right there. Yeah, so yeah, it's really wasn't made for his arm like that, but I got it a little bit, pushed it a little bit more. Don't know if it's supposed to be past that notch, but I think I got it to its max capacity. Yep. It'll still be able to function, so that's even better. So we back at the pot, and I was able to get Major Bludd's vest over the Lieutenant Stalker, Sergeant Stalker's body here. So what I'm about to do now, I'm gonna soften up his arms so I can pop them in here. So we're gonna drop these in real time, and drop this. This is right arm. Yeah, drop that one in real time. Like I said, it shouldn't take nothing but a couple of seconds. We're gonna go with the robotic arm first. Putting the pants and the crotch back on shouldn't be bad at all. Should be pretty simple with that. That should be the most simple thing. Usually how I go about this, let me grab this other arm too, so it don't get too hot, because you don't want to leave it in too long. I should have just dropped them one at a time. That's how hot it can get, how fast it can get. But I usually try to go, and this is a little bit different here. This peg has gotten bigger with this Major Bludd arm. I usually try to drop in like this. See where that anchor piece is? Try to get that anchor in there. Boom. And then kind of feed the other ones through. This Major Bludd thing has gotten arm, the one that goes into the body cavity, has gotten bigger, but it's soft enough for you to push. Yeah, there we go. Gotta push that thing in there. Go on, get it on up in there. What I usually do too, you see, I don't know if you guys can see up under here, but I try to take a butter knife and push. Just anything I can get to push in there. So I'm gonna get that to lock in. I usually use a butter knife, but this knife right here is a little bit sharper. We just want to get that anchor, get it pushed in there. I wouldn't recommend using a sharp knife, but just trying to get this thing pushed in there, get his arm moving around. Because once you start moving around his arm, it'll set itself back in. Yep, see, it set itself. I'm gonna put the pauldron on last, but let's go ahead with the other Stalker arm. I'm gonna drop it one more time, just a couple of seconds. We're gonna get that put back on, but he's looking good already. All right, that should be all I need from that. His arm, yeah. And see, the thing is that Major Bludd arm I pulled out, that piece right here, that shaft that goes in the cavity is a little bit longer on the newer figures, but it still worked out. You know, he got it soft enough, but it shouldn't be that bad, because this is actually his real arm going back in there. Like I said, I usually try to force feed from the bottom and then feed up. See, when you get it too soft, sometimes it can almost be too pliable to even work with. So you always want to watch that too, because if it's too pliable, that means it could break also. Come on. Force feed that thing.
And see, this is what I like, that I kept this camera on and kept it in real time. So basically you can see that I'm struggling trying to put this thing back in. And I can see how somebody who hasn't done this before, you'd be scared. You think you really screwed it up, man, if you're not just used to messing around with this thing. So that's why I kept this footage in, to show me struggle.
There you go. Just trying to get this thing in here. You know what? I'm gonna get it a little bit more softer. And then I gotta force feed it. So this time I'm not dipping the full arm in there, just this piece here. And I lied, I said it should be easier with its original piece. It's actually been a pain in the ass. Put that bottom piece in, put that top, yeah. There you go, I had to get it a little softer. I can already tell on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Don't try this at home. Oh shit, man. Come on, man. Oh, this shit being an asshole. Come on. Get your ass up in there. Thing in there, so bottom in. That's usually how I go. Been struggling with this one right here. Damn, y'all went up in there, man. It's usually not this hard. This arm is really soft too, so it's. Last time I had to end up going through the top. Maybe that's what I'm gonna have to do here. Kind of push this in. There we go. And kind of get that to feed into there. There we go. Now I got somewhere. So that's all it was. I guess I had to start from the top on that one. But I need to move this joint, this socket around, so I can get this arm to set. Because right now I feel like we still aren't really where we need to be with it. There we go. All right, we got it set to where it need to be now. And we got full use of the range there. Full T-pose. All right, so we good to go on that end. Let's slap the, all right. So now I'm gonna do the other part of this, which is switching out Major Bludd's legs and giving them to this Outback buck, which Major Bludd's legs is Outback legs. So this should be a pretty even exchange. I mean, we're gonna give him his web gear as well because it's hooked to the drop down holster in the waistband here. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and drop him since he's already in pieces. Like I said, we're doing this in real time so I can show you with the drops of the hot water how long it takes for this thing that really heats up, and it's no more than about 20 seconds on a fresh drop, and it's ready. So you just pull the legs right on off at this point. I'm trying to keep it in the camera here. Matter of fact, let's switch it over there. There we go. That's a lot better. All right, so pull the leg on off. Nothing. You don't have to do any twist or anything like that. It's just gonna pop off. Pretty much. Let's take the diaper off, and we're gonna keep this whole setup together. Remember, I said this is one piece here. We're gonna put it on my man Recondo over here. So we're gonna take the Outback buck. Gonna drop it again, and I'm not gonna add it to this. I'm gonna just save these pieces. This is what I ended up with. This is what's left over. This one's kind of, I don't know if I ever find anything with these separate arms here because of the situation with Major Bludd, but I got a nice torso piece, and I got a nice Stalker head with the neck, which I have several Stalker heads. And, we got the diaper and the brown legs. Oh, the brown legs are gonna switch, but no, these legs right here will be a whole different just set waiting on somebody. Any part from Outback is always good. The Outback buck is undefeated, but pretty much, boom, look how easy that came off. It's like chicken, it's like meat. That's basically what it's like cooking too. How long you let it simmer, the more it's gonna fall off the bone, but you don't want to fall off the bone before you pull it out the pot. So just like I said, you want to watch that. So we got this here, got the Major Bludd legs. Should I slide this diaper on first? Yeah, no. I'm gonna do this first. Let's go ahead and get this holster and belt up here. And then let's drop this diaper. Get that a little softer. I'm gonna wait before I put that leg on because I can't do nothing without that diaper. All right, left the diaper in for a matter of like 5 seconds. It's soft. This feels like a balloon basically. So you wanna be careful on how you mess around with this. And like I said, that transition over from Major Bludd to the actual, this is Law and Order's body, but this is Outback's buck. It's nothing. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this leg back on. Boom, that went on easy. Just got to get ourselves straightened out here. Get the web gear out of itself, out of the way of itself, basically. And I wanted to keep this web gear because Recondo, even though he's from Wisconsin, he always just reminded me of a cowboy or something. Come on, there we go. You gotta get yourself straightened back out here. And once I get everything together and it cools down a little bit, it'll give you time to straighten out things. But let's go ahead and pop this other leg back on. Let me drop this in there. And give me a little time to get things straightened out. Try to get this belt game together. I don't know why it's acting funny. I don't know if this belt sits on top of that diaper or, you know, like actually sits above it, or does it rest on it? But I don't like the way that's looking here. I don't know why it's acting funny like that. Oh, don't want to leave your legs in too long. You see how that popped on like it was just nothing. And that's already looking good. I'm liking the way that's looking already. But I need to get this belt situation straightened out. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to add some of my water slides. I want to go with some NFL shit. I was trying to choose in between the Bills and the Patriots, but I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. Just all the simple fact because it's G.I. Joe. I know my man Recondo is from Wisconsin here, and I would possibly do a Green Bay thing, but this really ain't about him no more. This is about for the love of the custom. And there you go. I think my belt was twisted over just a little too much, and it wasn't allowing my drop down holster. But I'm gonna leave everything on them because I like Major Bludd's boots. It's more like cowboy boots, and yeah. Only thing I got to do with Recondo is, like I say, Rick dye, just so I can try to match this color up. Maybe give him some more red or brownish, you know, suntan type colors. But I'm feeling this already. I thought about doing the web gear on him. You know, just taking Stalker's web gear once again, using all the parts. But we might do that. We still might do that after that because that's looking more badass the more I look at it. But I want to get his water slide, so that'll be the next thing we do. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Parts and Pieces, man. There'll be more. I know we didn't get down to the end of, you know, seeing Recondo put his water slides on, but trust me, there'll be plenty more. But it was plenty to see on here for those who don't know, those just interested in a figure getting broken down. But I appreciate y'all watching. If you made it to the end, please like. If you're in the cut lurking, man, please subscribe to the channel, man. We got more banging stuff coming out. We put out pure action figure content. And with that being said, until next time, God bless.